Yeah, bill's out 6-0, Senator. And now on to SB 1298.
Sewers.
Sewers, that also enjoys a due pass with the amendments.
Thank you. Amendments accepted. Madam Chair, as you know from our conversations, I'm doing everything possible during my time back in government to rethink water. And particularly in Los Angeles, where I come from, we dump so much water in the ocean. We get a storm and the water rushes through what we call rivers in our area. Here you've got real rivers, but down there they're lined with concrete. We call them rivers. And so the question is, what can we do to recapture that water and turn it into a valuable resource, to rethink the rules so maybe we steal less water from you in the north, which would be a good thing. And so in that regard, we looked at this issue of stormwater that is a significant challenge for us in Los Angeles. And what's happened is there's a series of kind of a confluence of court cases and laws and constitutional amendments that have, I think, had a chilling effect on the process. We have, as you know, as we all know, in 1996, the voters of California passed Prop 218, which is called the Right to Vote on Taxes Act. Now, that measure says in its terms with specificity that you'd vote, it makes an exceptions for fees or charges for sewer, water, refuse collection services as to not require a vote. Well, the Howard Jarvis folks took a case to court in Salinas, and the Court of Appeals for the 6th District came out with a case on June 3rd, 2002, which has kind of thrown mud into the stormwater, so to speak, and looked at this issue of sewers differentiating from the idea of stormwater. And when you look at California, the law that was written in 1970 in the Public Utilities Code that defined sewer service is the exact code language that we put in our measure. So it's historically, this was way before both the passage of Prop 218 and way before the passage of, way before the court case in 2002. And so then you take a look at how California deals with this distinction. Is sewer water, storm water, what is it? Is it the same? Well, when you look at the EPA laws and the standards, they define programs to what they call municipal separate storm sewer water, because the storm water goes into the sewers. So much of the content of what goes into sewers is storm water by total volumetric approach over time. The EPA standards, what you just had in the last bill of these storm water runoff people that you had to have all these people complain about in Mr. Wachowski's bill. The question is that it is the same. And so what we're trying to do in this measure is to kind of thread this in a way appropriately where we're adopting the law that was adopted by the Public Utilities Code some 1970 and trying to move away from 3 judges who opined and having a major chilling effect on our ability to be able to construct without a vote of the people stormwater projects, because they really are storm sewer water projects that are already exempt in the law. Ask for your support. Got some witnesses here to talk to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Folland with the Water Foundation, and I just want to thank Senator Hertzberg for introducing 1298. I know time is short, so I'll get right to the point. I think Senator Hertzberg said it well. Stormwater is a critical resource. It's also a significant liability to many communities throughout the state. I think we have been trying to work with stakeholders to develop a proposal that provides a sense of the legislature about how to move forward on this issue. How can we better finance the management of this critical resource? We have a recent bill that was passed that addresses the water side of stormwater, but stormwater sits at the confluence of both wastewater and drinking water, and I think it's really important. We're trying to address this issue very narrowly, absent of a constitutional amendment, and we think that this is a reasonable and rational approach. Right now, we are committed to work with stakeholders of all shapes and sizes to find the language as necessary, but we urge the committee to vote aye and give us that opportunity this recess.
Thank you very much. Next person speaking in support, please.
Yeah, thank you, Chair and members. Reed Addis on behalf of Tree People. We're a Los Angeles-based nonprofit. We work on sustainable urban solutions for the environment and for people. We're very interested in this policy. With the drought, clearly we've all been looking at our need for a reliable local water supply. Unfortunately, we have not been able to appropriately have stormwater be one of those solutions because of funding problems. Consistently, that's been a funding issues. While drinking water and wastewater systems we've been able to invest in those, we haven't been able to do that in our stormwater system. The solution is really allowing local agencies the authority and the ability to develop new and innovative local water sources, including stormwater. We think this measure does it. We were a little disappointed that they took out the provisions to deal with affordability and conservation. However, we think this is a strong measure and strongly supported today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, the members, Paul Yoder on behalf of the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors in support of the measure.
Thank you very much. Anybody else speaking in support of this measure today? Just name and affiliation, please.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. My name is Sarah Amanzada, and I'm the Executive Director of California Coastkeeper Alliance. I'm here today to speak in support of this bill on behalf of my member, Local Water Keepers, and also on behalf of Natural Resources Defense Council and American Rivers. We feel this bill is absolutely essential and hope to see it pass out of committee today to allow continued work. I want to make two very quick points. We are also disappointed to see that conservation and affordability have not been addressed, and we hope to see bold legislative action on these issues soon.
We'll be back. Don't worry.
Thank you. And I also want to say that I hope to see the larger community of stakeholders, many of whom are here today, Aqua, CSAC, and League of Cities, really work proactively with us to develop these reforms and also to implement them ultimately at the local level. Thank you.
Next person speaking in support, name and affiliation, please.
Kim Shine with Gila Bay. I'd like to align my comments with my colleague. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vern Gehring on behalf of the California Urban Streams Partnership supporting the bill on the stormwater management issues.
Thank you very much. Anybody else in support? Those speaking in opposition today, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. No, sit here, David. It's closer for you. Sit here. It's okay.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members. Jason Ryan, League California Cities. We are not exactly in opposition. We submitted a concerns letter. The League, CSAC, and Aqua has spent the last 2 years and a significant amount of money working on this issue with Assemblymember Gordon. And we're very pleased that Senator Hertzberg has decided to join in this effort. It is a very tricky and dicey effort. It is complicated by many, many factors. We are pleased that the senator has decided to narrow the focus of the bill to sewer. We think that perhaps is a doable legislative solution. When it comes to conservation rates and lifeline rates, we were very committed to those two components as well. However, it became very clear that there really is no statutory fix to those, since we have a constitutional provision, 218, that makes really clear that we can't do that. So we are very interested in spending the break talking to the senator and Assemblymember Gordon and trying to come up with potentially a legislative definition that appears in the bill now. So with that, we would be pleased to see the bill move forward, but the focus, in our minds at least, needs to be on the definition, and we look forward to that conversation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair Eggman and members. Cindy Tuck with the Association of California Water Agencies. We've had an opposed position on the bill that's in print. We very much appreciate that Senator Hertzberg is scaling it back and focusing on the stormwater issue. We really need a solution in that area. We are definitely willing to work with him and other stakeholders during recess to refine the language. We think it should be very focused intent language, a definition, and we need to make sure that it's constitutional and helpful to the agencies that are trying to get the job done. So thank you
very much.
Madam Chair, members, good afternoon. David Wolf with the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. Opposed to the bill today, members, but I would echo Ms. Tuck's comments regarding the narrowing of the bill to sewer. I mean, obviously that's an improvement. We're not dealing with, lifelines and some of the other things that Mr. Ryan mentioned, and that's a good thing. But just speaking to the bill in general and just the concept in general, and we too are willing to work with Senator Hertzberg on language over summer recess. We're looking for a bill, first of all, that's constitutional. that doesn't violate the provisions of Prop 218 and the definition specifically on cost of service and proportionality. We don't want to see potential lawsuit risk to the League of Cities and to, well, not to the League of Cities, to cities in general. I'd echo those comments from the League of Cities. And we also don't want to see the unsettling of a number of different court cases, including one that Mr. Hertzberg mentioned, HJTA versus Salinas. What that did is basically ensure that stormwater and urban runoff management require a vote of the people per a ballot. So that's different, of course, from water, sewer, and refuge service, which only requires a protest procedure in order to be approved. Members, we recognize we're in the middle of a drought. And obviously, water service and providing additional water resources is important. And we do think the definition of stormwater needs to be further defined and some clarity needs to be put in place in order to ensure that additional water resources are provided to the populace of the state of California. That could include aquifer recharge, that could include more potable water service for landscape. We'd be willing to separate that, that use of stormwater from the traditional use of water in order to provide those greater amount of resources. But again, the devil is in the details, and I do think that's why we do need to come back over summer recess and continue to work on this. So ask for a no vote based on the bill in print. But
Thank you very much. Anyone else speaking in opposition, just name and affiliation.
Madam Chair and members and Senator Hertzberg, Kendra Dijogo on behalf of the United Water Conservation District. They are in Ventura County, and I am here in opposition to the bill. The United Water Conservation District has a California Supreme Court case pending, and so that is the basis of our opposition. We look forward to working with the...
Thank you. Name and affiliation.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members. Glenn Farrell, San Diego County Water Authority. We also greatly appreciate the Senator's willingness to narrow the measure. Look forward to working over the break. Thanks.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, members, John O'Malley with California Advocates on behalf of our client, Mesa Water. We, too, were initially opposed, and we've removed our opposition and look forward to working with the Senator and his staff on these important constitutional issues.
Thank you very much. Questions from the committee?
Move the bill.
Okay. Bill's been moved.
Okay.
Would you like to close, Senator?
I would. A couple of thoughts. The case that was referred to that's before the Supreme Court is the portion of the bill that was removed had to do with proportionality, the Bonaventura case that's pending before the court, number one. Number two is, this is kind of something that's been challenging to me, and I expressed to you, Madam Chair, probably more direct terms than I should have. But, the idea that a court case decided 14 years ago, 3 judges decide the interpretation of enactment that wasn't a Supreme Court decision, it isn't constitutional in nature. We have direct federal and state actions that support the definition of sewer projects that include stormwater because they're so interrelated, and you take this one court case and there's a chilling effect on the legislature. I'm sorry, let's go to court. That's what I used to do for a living for 37 years, and it doesn't intimidate me because I don't think that they're right. I think that the reading of the law, the dates from which we did this is a very careful analysis by a very big coalition of folks working together to this. And at the end of the day, if you take your shot and the court comes back and says we don't agree or we do agree, it's got to go to the Supreme Court, and they'll ultimately decide, as if the case in many situations here. So, and the last thing I want to just share on this thing, this really is new day, new rules. We have to be creative in water policy. We have to push the envelope. Mr. Gordon's working on the same thing. Others, you've got to change the game. We have got to deal with the law in a more aggressive way when we're faced with these extraordinary circumstances. This, to me, is a creative way to do it. And as it relates to those portions of the bill that we're not moving forward today, all I have to do is to borrow the words from a movie actor who some of us know, I'll be back. Ask for support.
Thank you very much. And I will second that motion. Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass as amended. Eggman.
Aye.
Eggman, aye. Waldron. Alejo. Bonilla. Chu. Cooley. Gaines? Gaines, no. Gordon? Gordon, aye. Linder?
You need 3 votes, Senator.
Thank you. Appreciate it much.
Very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Galgiani, Senator Galgiani.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. I'm presenting SB 1367 on behalf of Senator Sharon Runner. California law prohibits the sale of certain synthetic recreational drugs which are labeled not for human consumption but can be smoked or vaporized and inhaled. These drugs include bath salts and so-called synthetic marijuana. Spice and other synthetic cannabinoids are often sprayed on herbs or other leafy material and packaged as incense or potpourri. Synthetic cannabinoids are chemically related to marijuana but are often much more toxic. Crystal or powdered bath salts are actually synthetic canthinones or stimulants that are used as cheap substitutes for cocaine. The proliferation of recreational drugs and the threat posed to high school-aged juveniles has been reflected in the number of emergency room cases triggered by the consumption of quote-unquote spice. Unfortunately, when the federal or state government prohibits the substance known as spice, a new compound with a slightly different chemical configuration appears on the market. Those who sell these dangerous drugs rely on the difficulty confronting law enforcement before new state legislation can be passed to prohibit the sale of the latest spice-like chemical compound. California laws can, however, regulate the sale of certain products without declaring them illegal if the product is demonstrated to be a health threat to juveniles, including airplane glue and aerosol paints, as well as tobacco. SB 1367 would authorize a city or county to regulate by ordinance the sale of substances that pose a threat to the life or health of juveniles in the community if the substance has been advertised, purchased, or consumed as a recreational drug, and the substance can cause intoxication, disability, or death if swallowed, smoked, inhaled, or injected in the body. We have received opposition from the California Retailers Association. We have been speaking with them, and I believe we are in agreement that we would like an opportunity to work on one statewide electronic tracking type system as opposed to a local jurisdiction by jurisdiction broad-based bill, which this does today. So I would be asking the committee if we could move the bill over and have the opportunity to work on it during the month of July and be able to work with Senator Runner, who has been out ill, as you may know. And if we have an agreement together, then we'll have something more in the bill. And if we don't, we would agree to not move the bill any further at this point.
All right. So the request is to hold the bill in committee as you work on it till August. Is that what you're asking?
I think we'd have to move it forward to appropriations. And if we aren't able to reach agreement, we would hold it in appropriations.
Madam Chair, that's in fact what we are doing with another bill in this subject matter area, Assembly Bill 139, which is Senator Galgiani's bill that attempts to bring the products chemically current so that you can't have this evasion, is moving forward to appropriations on that basis, with the understanding from the committee chair that the changes that are made must satisfy the chair at the outset, and the senator has made that commitment.
So you're looking not to do local ordinance, but to do some kind of statewide
electronic tracking. The thought being that the concern was raised when methamphetamine was, it was acknowledged that with meth they were using pseudoephedrine that people were buying from grocery stores and pharmaceutical places, etc., and they were using those to create methamphetamine. So the legislature then restricted the sale and started up an electronic tracking system for pseudoephedrine. So the idea is to try to come up with something along that line. And again, we're trying to address getting ahead of these underground chemists that come up with different concoctions. They change one chemical in the drug. Right. And so we see what's happening at the local level, but the state law hasn't kept up with it. And they just change one chemical compound. So what we're wanting to do is give the ability on the ground for those at the local level to have some way of detecting that there is a problem, an issue. For example, had pseudoephedrine been tracked in large numbers early on, they would have realized much sooner that that's what was being used to create some kind of illegal substance. The thought is that if we empower at the local level, that the eyes and ears on the ground will see what's happening locally and be able to detect that there's a problem long before we have to know that there's a problem from overdoses and deaths. So what we'd like to be able to do is work with the Retailers Association, who was instrumental in putting together the legislation that allowed for the electronic tracking of pseudoephedrine used to produce methamphetamine, and come up with something similar for getting ahead of spice and the synthetic cannabinoids, bath salts.
Mr. Gordon, I'm glad you're here. From a rules perspective, it sounds to me like what the senator's talking about then no longer falls under the jurisdiction of this committee.
True. This would not be, the revision being talked about would not be a local government issue. But the bill in front of us today is a local government bill as it's presently constructed. And I would assume we either if it's very, very clear that it's not going to be a local government bill, I don't know whether you move it forward or not.
Right, that's the question. And there's not time in this session for you to re-refer it to another committee.
No, it has to. We've got to move it out. It has to be moved out of policy committee by Friday, and there wouldn't. Without some rule waivers agreed to by the Speaker's office, I'm not sure we could do that. The only other way to perhaps have it heard later would be for it to for the author to request that an urgency clause be added. Mm-hmm. And the Rules Committee could take that up, and that would extend the amount of time that this bill would have before decisions have to be reached.
What do you think about that, Senator?
So if we took an urgency clause,
then you would have time to get re-referred to the appropriate policy committee.
So we could hold that here, hold it here in committee.
But it makes it a 2/3 bill with urgency clause.
Correct.
It would make your bill a 2/3 vote requirement with an urgency.
Okay, we will accept that.
Okay. So that will be the determination then? We need to vote on that. Do we need a vote? I don't think we need to vote on that. Okay, so the agreement then is you park your bill here, we develop an urgency clause, and then try to get referred to, where would it go? Privacy? BMP. We'll see it, and I'll see it there too.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, Mr. Gordon, for your rule assistance. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And we have somebody here to present on behalf of Senator Wolk, who has been sitting with us our entire committee hearing, spellbound, I'm sure. Senator Wolk is gone and is allowing Jim
Metropolis
to present on SB 1340, which does enjoy a due pass recommendation.
Madam Chair, committee members, I'm honored here to present on behalf of my boss, SB 34. My name is Jim Metropolis. SB 34 would implement a recommendation from a recent report on landscape water use efficiency from the Department of Water Resources Independent Technical Panel on Demand Management Measures. Since 1991, the state's Model Water Efficient Landscape Ordinance sets standards for landscape projects that are tied to the construction of a new building that requires a local building permit. However, a significant portion of new landscapes are not subject to any standards. That is because it is a common practice in most parts of the state for builders to leave the yards of new homes or businesses unlandscaped. In those cases, owner-initiated landscape projects that follow home or building construction are not subject to the model ordinance or the state or local government's local ordinance on landscapes because the installation of the landscape and the irrigation system as a standalone project does not require a permit. SB 43 would close that gap and require local governments to include in their local landscape ordinance a requirement that they permit the installation of any automatic irrigation system for a landscape of a certain size. With me today to testify in support of SB 34 is Mr. Bob Raymer with the Building Industry Association and Ms. Victoria Rome with the Natural Resources Defense Council. Thank you.
Thank you. First witness, please.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members. I'm Victoria Rome with NRDC. We're in support of the bill. Half of all water used in California's urban areas is used outdoors, so it's crucial that new landscapes be water efficient. The state has set minimum requirements for the water efficiency of new landscapes whenever landscapes are installed as part of a permitted construction project. This bill ensures that new irrigated landscapes installed by homeowners will meet the same efficiency standards as new landscapes installed by home builders. Put another way, SB 1340 ensures that backyard landscaping will be as water efficient as front yard landscaping. I was also asked to register support for Clean Water Action. Urge your I vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Madam Chair and members, I'm Bob Raymer with the California Building Industry Association, and today I'm also speaking on behalf of the California Building Officials and the Business Properties Association. A year ago, the Department of Housing and the Building Standards Commission, at the direction of the Governor's executive order, moved forward and adopted emergency building standards to incorporate DWR's Model Water Landscape Ordinance. What is clear now that those standards are in effect is what applies to new residential and new commercial construction. What is less clear is how this applies to existing landscapes. This bill provides the guidance on that. We'll incorporate that into the next update of the California Green Building Standards. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vern Gehring with the California Native Plant Society. Madam Chairman, I jumped the gun a little bit. I'm mainly just here to add on to it. We participated in the Department of Water Resources review of the Model Landscape Ordinance last year, and we saw this is a big gap that was missing. So we really support this bill and encourage its passage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else speaking in support? Name and affiliation, please.
Kim Schreiner with the U.S. Green Building Council of California, in strong support. Thank you.
Gabrielle First on behalf of the Sierra Club California in support.
Thank you very much. Anyone speaking in opposition to this bill today?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Yeli Gavrich. I'm with the California Association of Realtors. We are in opposition to this bill. I just wanted to bring up a couple points where we bring up our opposition. Model landscape ordinances have been available since 1994. And up until recently, local governments have been compelled to adopt those local ordinances. And so about 200 cities have already complied with adopting their landscape ordinances. And they've had every opportunity in those instances upon adoption to, in addition to the model ordinance that was provided by the Department of Water Resources, to also include any other provisions within their ordinance that they felt was necessary or beneficial to their community. And that could have been to require a permit for existing landscapes. And so seeing that these communities have not chosen that as an option or seeing that as a beneficial way of applying landscape ordinances, we just see this sort of top-down demand from the state to local governments is just going outside of the existing program for the model water landscape program through Department of Water Resources. Another problem that we're seeing with this is that it's actually going to put homeowners through a tremendous hurdle of going through the permitting process and paying for a fee that is not being statutorily defined in this bill. So we don't really know what that cap's going to look like. It could be a tremendous fee that's being placed upon homeowners, which is concerning. And in addition to that, just through the process of applying for a permit and paying the fee, it does not necessarily guarantee that there will be water savings with that installation and that the behavior of the homeowner will comport with water savings. So putting someone through the hoops is not going to guarantee savings. And so these are the reasons that we're concerned with the bill, and we're in opposition and respectfully ask for your no vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else speaking in opposition today? Okay, would you care to close?
Respectfully ask for an aye vote today.
Thank you very much. Questions, comments from the committee? Move the bill?
Second.
Second? Okay. Secretary, please call the roll. Did a fine job, Mr. Metropolis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The motion is do pass, and we refer to the Committee on Appropriations. Eggman.
Aye.
Eggman, aye. Waldron. No. Waldron, no. Alejo. Bonilla. Chu.
Aye.
Chu, aye. Cooley. Aye. Cooley, aye. Gaines. No. Gaines, no. Gordon. Aye. Gordon, aye. Linder.
No.
Linder, no.
You need one more vote.
Thank you, ma'am.
Get out. Okay, that concludes the business of the day. We still have a number of bills on call. So if we'll have the secretary call the roll on these. And so SB 564, Canella.
Item 1, Senate Bill 564, Canella. Current vote is 4-0. Waldron. Aye. Waldron, aye. Bonilla. Chu. Aye. Chu, aye. Gaines. Aye. Gaines, aye. Linder. Aye. Linder, aye.
That bill's out 8-0. SB 872, Senator Hall. That bill is currently at 3-1.
Waldron. Aye. Waldron, aye. Bonilla. Chu. Aye. Chu, aye. Gaines. Aye. Gaines, aye. Linder.
Aye.
Linder, aye.
That bill's out 7-1. SB 953 by Senator Lara. It's currently 4-0.
Waldron. Waldron, no. Bonilla. Chu.
Aye.
Chu, aye. Gaines. Gaines, no. Linder.
No.
Linder, no.
Bill is out 5-3. Now SB 958, Mr. Lara, which is currently 4-1.
Chu.
Aye.
Chu, aye. Cooley. Aye. Cooley, aye. Gaines. No. Gaines, no. Linder.
No.
Linder, no.
It's out 6-3. Next bill is SB 1011 by Senator Mendoza. No, SB 1008 by Senator Lara. Currently at 4-0.
Alejo. Chu.
Aye.
Chu, aye. Cooley.
Aye.
Cooley, aye. Gaines. Aye. Gaines, aye. Linder.
Aye.
Linder, aye.
8-0. Mendoza, SB 1011. It's currently at 1-0.
Waldron. Aye. Waldron, aye. Alejo. Bonilla. Chu.
Aye.
Chu, aye. Cooley. Mendoza, SB 1011. Cousins and aunts and uncles and.
Gaines. Aye. Gaines, aye. Linder.
Aye.
Linder, aye.
Bill is out 5-0. SB 1108, Senator Allen. That bill is currently at 4-0.
Waldron. Waldron not voting. Alejo. Chu.
Aye.
Chu, aye. Gaines. No. Gaines, no. Linder.
Aye.
Linder, aye. Bill's out 6-1.
Bill's out 6-1. SB 1170, Mr. Wykowski, currently at 4-2.
Chu.
Not voting.
Chu not voting. Not voting. Cooley.
Aye.
Cooley, aye. Linder?
Aye.
Linder, aye.
Bill's out 6-2. SB 1233, Senator McGuire, currently at 4-0.
Waldron?
Who's a fine bill?
I was in the middle on that one.
Bonilla? Bonilla, aye. Chu?
Aye.
Chu, aye. Gaines? Gaines, aye. Linder?
Aye.
Linder, aye. Waldron, aye.
That bill's out 9-0. Next up, SB 1262 by Senator Pavley, 3-0.
Waldron? Waldron, aye. Bonilla? Bonilla, aye. Chu?
Aye.
Chu, aye. Cooley? Cooley, aye. Gaines? Gaines not voting. Linder?
Aye.
Linder, aye.
Bill's out 8-0. SB 1298, Senator Hertzberg, dealing with stormwater, and Prop 218.
Waldron?
18. File item 18.
Waldron, no. Alejo? Bonilla? Bonilla, aye. Chu?
Aye.
Chu, aye. Cooley?
Aye.
Cooley, aye. Linder?
No.
Linder, no. It's, what is this?
5-3, that bill is out. File item 19, SB 1340, Senator Wolk.
Alejo? Bonilla? Bonilla, aye. Bill's out 5-3.
Bill's out 5-3. And finally, SB 1374, Senator Lara is currently at 3-0.
Waldron? Waldron, no. Alejo? Chu?
Aye.
Chu, aye. Cooley? Cooley, aye. Gaines? No. Gaines, no. Linder?
No.
Linder, no. Bill's out 5-3.
That bill's out 5-3. We'll hold the roll open for another 5 minutes and then close the rolls on this hearing. It's 4:55. Will be adjourned at 5 p.m. Do you want to do it again? We'll start again. Okay. SB 564 of Canella.
Bonilla? Bonilla, aye.
SB 872 Hall.
Bonilla? Bonilla, aye.
SB 953 Lara.
Bonilla, aye.
SB 958 Lara.
No, we don't need anything for that. Yeah, we need consent calendar.
We did consent. We can add on to the consent calendar. Secretary, please call the roll.
Consent calendar includes SB 957, SB 1172, SB 1179, and SB 1199. Waldron?
Aye.
Waldron, aye. Chu?
Aye.
Chu, aye. Gaines?
Aye.
Gaines, aye. Linder?
Aye.
Linder, aye. It's out.
Okay. Consent calendar has passed.
Okay.
We were on
Item
Mendoza. Item
6. Item 6, Senate Bill 1000, Leyva.
No.
Waldron, no.
I'm joking. I knew you were going to read me first. So.
Chu?
Leyva.
Yeah. Chu, aye. Gaines?
This is SB 1000.
Yes.
No.
Gaines, no. Linder?
No.
Linder, no. 6-2. You want to add on? No.
No. Which this is the
Leyva.
1000.
It's the Leyva bill.
Waldron, no. Okay, there we go. Item number 7, Senate Bill 1008, Lara Alejo. He's not here. Item 8, Senate Bill 1011, Mendoza, Alejo. Item 9, Senate Bill 1029, Hertzberg, Bonilla. Bonilla, aye. Cooley.
Aye.
Cooley, aye. Linder.
Aye.
Linder, aye. Final vote, 9-0. Item number 10, Senate Bill 1069, Waldron.
Oh, I thought I voted on it. 1069.
Wykowski.
I voted aye. Wait, I thought I voted aye. What number? Yeah, I voted aye.
Waldron, aye. Linder.
Aye.
Linder, aye. Yes, Cooley, aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 1. Item number 11, Senate Bill 1108, Allen, Alejo.
Wait, this is I didn't look at it. Okay, I thought it was the other. Oh, definitely, I got to change my vote on that. Yeah, I thought it was the other.
Okay, which one do you want? So that's Alejo's. We need Alejo. So which one did you need to change?
To change item 10. I thought it was this by code. I didn't realize it was 2 bills.
Okay.
I'm a no.
Item 10, Senate Bill 1069, Wykowski, Waldron, from aye to no. Okay, we're
It's now 5 o'clock. This meeting's adjourned.